I'm very excited. As you say, as you've been saying, it's the first trip to the moon since 1972, the first time humans have left low Earth orbit for 50 years. And although this mission is unmanned or unwomaned, uncrewed, it is a shakedown mission of the capsule and the rocket to send it in the capsule in orbit around the moon for at least 10 days in a high orbit, so that everything is right. There is a mannequin in the crew seat, instrumented, so they know the environment, they know what the crew will go through. And in a year's time, there will be people on board. And as you say, in 2 years after that, they will actually be landing at the south pole of the moon. So for all of the people who've been writing into you and contacting you saying what they remember about 1969, a new generation, everybody was born since then, and that's 80% of the population plus did not live through the moon landings. They will have the experience of seeing a man and a woman on the moon during that first mission.
Excitement. A lot of people, I think, will be asking, well, if we never really thought it terribly urgent to go back to the moon, because frankly, when we got there, we just found a lot of dust and rocks. Why do we think it's important enough to invest all this money in now, 50 years later?
There are several aspects to going back to the moon. First of all, when you spend the money in the only place you can spend money, and that's in the economy. So the money you spent on this rocket and going back to the moon gets spent on jobs and salaries, and ultimately gets spent in companies, down the supermarket, on cars and on mortgages. So it fertilizes the economy with a high-tech workforce that take their technology and their skills elsewhere. But the moon today is very different from what we understood with the Apollo astronauts. I mean, we went there with relatively crude technology. We stayed just a few days. And with the better technology, the better computers, the better materials we have these days, we can actually go back, eventually stay for many months on the surface, understand the moon, and practice, if you like, for a trip to Mars. But you're quite right. If you do something like this that benefits the economy in terms of what it does for technology and for inspiration and bringing people into science and technology, which is what we need these days, it does have to take its place along the other things that we should be doing on Earth.